Okay. This is a public meeting of the Wellfleet Selectboard, Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Time is now 6:03 p.m. And as customary, we will begin with announcements and public comments. Public comments are limited to no more than 3 minutes per speaker. The board will not deliberate or vote on any matter raised solely during announcements and public comments. With that, are there any announcements or comments by members of the board? Barbara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So on November 3rd in the Wellfleet Elementary School cafeteria, there will be a community outreach event by the Nauset Schools.
Elementary
It's the
regionalization.
it's efficiency and regionalization project. I'm on the steering committee of that by vote of the board. So this is an opportunity for anyone interested in or involved in the Wellfleet Elementary School to give input into this project. And in particular, they will be discussing and soliciting input on what towns believe makes a thriving school. And that includes having a community school. So I'll make the announcement as the event comes up, but please look at your calendar for November 3rd, 5 to 7 in the cafeteria. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the board? Sheila?
I just want to report that today I did attend a I attended a groundbreaking of a housing project for adults with autism, and the group is called Forward. And our CDP did contribute to this, as did the county, and it was a great event, and they are now breaking ground, although a lot of it is already built, they're way ahead of the game, for 8 individual apartments for people who are high-functioning with autism. And that goes through the Department of Social Services. They pick the person, but there is a priority for Cape residents. And one of our residents here from Wellfleet, her mother died, and she had been cared for. They built a unit with rooms with a house manager for people who were a little bit more in need of assistance. And fortunately, that person found residence there after her mother died and will now be cared for the rest of her life. And this is phase 2. So it was a great success, and they did want to, thank all of the towns. 14 out of 15 towns contributed to this project. So it was a fun day and a great event.
Who was the 15th?
I think it's Falmouth. I went through the whole thing, and I said, I really got to find out which. So I think it was Falmouth that hasn't given, but I have to look at that again. But it wasn't us, so I'm glad to say.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
if I may. I just want to remind the public that October 22nd is the town meeting at the Wellfleet Elementary School. It's at 6 p.m., correct? Am I getting the time right? Just remember that, and it's basically the second session of the annual town meeting. It's the first year that we've split the annual town meeting into 2 different sections. And we highly appreciate anybody that makes the time to come to town meeting, provide input, and to vote. So thank you.
And if I could just add to that, the Wellfleet Forum is going to hold a forum pre-town meeting with Tom, our finance people. Dan Silverman will moderate, and to just review the budget. So if anybody has any clarifying points they need, it's a good opportunity to do that before town meeting. And that's either going to be the 16th or the 20th. Those are the 2 dates. One is a Thursday night before town meeting, and one is the Monday before town meeting, which is a Wednesday. So look for that announcement. It will probably be put on Facebook, and you'll get an email blast from the forum.
I think you meant to say review the warrant, not review the budget.
Excuse me, the warrant, yes. It is to review the warrant of town meeting. So it is a pre-town meeting. We usually have it, and so look for that date. I think it's being confirmed, tightened up by tomorrow, the date.
Thank you. Anyone else? Tom?
No, I have, no, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, then with that, is there anyone in the room who has anything they would like to bring up? Seeing none, let me check online.
No one has their hands raised.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sarah? I didn't see a last name, but let me pull this up.
Sorry, it's Sarah Flagg.
Oh, okay.
Nichols.
Yeah, go ahead. Sarah?
Hello? Yep, I was just waiting to be unmuted, sorry. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to ask the board to vote to release the town opinion on property tax minimums and beach sticker access. I know I've emailed and I believe some others have as well. And just wondering too why this is being discussed in executive session instead of at a general meeting. It was just like 2.5 months ago, this board with these members, you had a discussion about releasing a different town council opinion in the open for everyone to hear. So just kind of curious why one is closed door and one is not. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Just the executive session tonight is not on beach stickers. So that's a different topic.
Yeah.
Just so people are aware.
Okay. Okay, in that case, is there anyone else with their hand up? Rebecca?
Sarah has her hand up again.
Reviewing all of the executive minutes.
If this is on the same subject, I'm not going to allow it. Is there
I'm just looking for some clarity. I know from
We do not
emails with
discuss anything during public comment.
We're reviewing executive
We are
minutes.
going to be reviewing this, and we'll leave it at that. Is there anyone else with their hand up?
Okay, Jim.
Nobody?
No, you're all set. Sorry, I was just looking.
Okay, I don't see anybody. All right, in that case, we will now move on to public hearings. Item A, Harbor Master Mike Kavanaugh to review, discuss, and vote on the marina change of fees.
Thank you, Chair and Select Board. So what I'm proposing to the Select Board, I know last year and I think over the past several years, as the season started to wind down after Labor Day and people started vacating their slips, we've brought in mooring customers from the mooring field and let them use the vacated slips to try to get them out of the mooring field, the cormorants, the shuttle that Wellfleet Marine operates. I believe, I want to say that they end on September 15th. So we try to bring those mooring customers in to keep their boats clean. In the past, that fee had been charged at $250 for Labor Day through the end of the season, October 31st. It had never, or at least to my knowledge, had not been approved or run by the Select Board, so we want to make sure we're doing it right. We'd like to institute that fee, and we'd like to just go up $10 and round it up to $250, and that would include slips from for mooring customers from Labor Day through the end of the season. In addition, should I talk about the additional part?
Sure.
So, part of this also is the current fee schedule has what's called the off-season fee that begins on 10/15 on October 15th. So there's a little bit of overlap between these two. So we just want to adjust the off-season fee to reflect the season end, because apparently the season ended on the 15th previously. So now that it goes to the 31st, we just want to adjust that fee so there's no overlap.
Right, it's just basically correcting an oversight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bringing consistency into the bylaw, to the regulations, excuse me.
Okay, is there anyone on the board has any questions?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I don't know, this makes total sense to me. I think in the future, it would be helpful if you could bring us a red line document, just understanding how these regulation changes fit into the larger marina regulations,
Okay,
just so we can review it as an entire body. But
okay,
I understand what's going on.
all right. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, just to clarify, that 250 was really never in the regulations.
Right.
It was just sort of an informal, yeah, give us 250 and you can keep your boat in the slip for the rest of the fall. Is there anyone in the public who would like to comment on this?
Chris Merle, speaking for myself. I'd just like to point out that the additional part, not that I have a problem with it being fixed, was not in the hearing notice.
I had submitted that to Rebecca.
You can combine, that's all
It's all right there.
regulatory
Labor Day.
to the 31st. You can do that too,
Okay.
the way it reads.
Yeah, because it says
It
additionally.
could have been clearer.
Yeah,
But-
but it's okay.
Okay, is there anybody online? I don't see anybody. Okay. All right, in that case, unless there's any further discussion, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye?
And John, aye. Any further discussion on the board? Okay, in that case, I'll take a motion on the item itself.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the Wellfleet Marina changes of fees as presented at tonight's meeting effective Wednesday, October 8th, 2025.
And
Second.
can I make a quick amendment to that?
Sure.
To include the correction of the date from October 15th to October 31st.
I'm sorry. So effective date would be October 31st, October 15th.
No, I believe Member Lyons' motion was appropriate because it is to amend the fees. There are two different fees we're amending, but
Right.
I think our
Well,
motion.
we're amending
the fee
them
and-
as of today.
Amending the date. The date that this becomes effective.
It becomes effective on the 15th?
In other words, it runs through October 31st instead of October.
One fee is effective as of tomorrow. One fee is effective as of the 31st of October.
Okay,
And that's
okay.
why it's
Correct.
as presented.
As presented, okay, all right. All right, in that case, the motion's been made. Was it seconded?
Second.
Roll call vote,
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
and John and I. Passes 5-0. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to see you. I will. I'll get there.
And now we have the public hearing, item B, to approve the request to run a fiber optic wire from aerial to underground at pole 41 on Chequesset Neck Road on town of Wellfleet-owned 4-inch conduit.
Mr. Chair, I need to recuse myself from this matter.
And I'm recused from hearing this.
Oh, okay.
I'm a recipient of this possible action.
I see.
Oh, okay.
All right. Who do we have presenting?
We have a gentleman here, two gentlemen, I guess now. Yep, come on up.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you. I didn't know if I should start. Good evening. My name is Mike Gallo. I'm the Senior Government Affairs Manager for Comcast, and with me tonight is Aaron Kimmel from our Construction Department for any potential questions with regard to what we're requesting. What we are requesting is to run our line through the town-owned conduit on Chequesset Neck Road. This conduit runs over the bridge on the Herring River project. This is to serve residents along Griffin Island Road, Chiquesset Neck Road, and Way 26. This would be us being able to provide service to these residents that currently do not have it. We do have permission to be on both poles on either side of the road, pole 41 and pole 44. We have gone through that whole process. And tonight, we're just looking for approval from the town to be able to run through that conduit so we can serve those residents.
Okay,
Just a quick, these are overhead, or they buried.
So it comes to a pole 41,
Right.
and then it would run
Goes under
into the
and then goes
conduit
back
and
up
then
to pole
back
40.
onto
Okay.
pole 44.
Thank you.
Correct.
the conduit runs along the bridge.
Correct.
Town installed, yeah. Yeah.
And this is probably a good time to do it, while we're doing it, while we're building it.
Has Jay Norton reviewed this?
Yes.
He's good? I
Yep.
assume? All right.
Okay.
There was a note there.
Let me just check.
Jay's online, actually, with his hand up.
Oh, okay. Jay?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Jay Norton, DPW Director. And thank you to the presenters for explaining this project. I had a question about timing on this. I would like for this to be on hold until this bridge is actually fully complete, if that's at all possible, just because putting the cable and the temporary bridge doesn't seem feasible at this point. So waiting for the permanent bridge to accept that would be my preference. And I was just wondering through the chair to the applicants what the timing is.
We're ready to go now, right?
So we were waiting for approval before proceeding. Anything that starts, if we were to be approved today, would take about 45 days to actually get the equipment up and running to allow services to the residents, which I guess would bring us to about Christmas. So I know from speaking with Wes, Jay, that there may be permanent in, I don't recall, maybe March? Maybe you can clarify.
Yeah, the bridge is scheduled to be commissioned in spring of 2026. So I'd really hesitate you guys putting anything in the temporary bridge at the moment because you're going to have to move it. And if you can hold off, that would be great.
I guess in the end, it's your call. In my respect, we can use the temporary line and then move over to permanent, but out of respect, I don't know if you
Yeah, I mean, and I can understand what the DPW Director, Jay, is saying. My only rebuttal to that would be then the residents unfortunately would have to wait longer to get any type of service. And I know there has been requests repeatedly that have come to our office to get moving on this project. So as Aaron just mentioned, you know, the moving from temporary to permanent is not something that we would have an issue with, and obviously we would be funding that as well. And we do have the funding in place to get this moving and would like those residents to have that service. So that's why we're attempting to get moving here, so we're in before really winter hits and those services are up and running.
Where does the funding come from to actually, if you were to put in the temporary line and then have to move it, who's actually paying for that?
We are.
Is it?
Xfinity.
Not from grant money associated with the project?
No, this is all their money.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Jay, what's your feeling on that?
I would just, I'd recommend the board approve this, but allow us some time to coordinate this with the contractor to make sure it's not going to interfere with anything he's doing on the temporary bridge. So if you guys can condition the approval by saying, we have to meet with MIG in the town prior to implementation to go over the details.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
the reason we're happy to meet with anybody and coordinate effectively.
Does somebody want to craft a motion? Oh, no, wait, before we, well,
Is there?
no,
yeah.
before we do that, we need to go to the public. Does anyone in the room have anything they'd like to speak to on this?
Hey, everyone, my name is Josh Yesset. I'm speaking on my own behalf. I live on Griffin Island Road. I've been waiting for this meeting for about 20 years, and I'm very happy to hear that we're going to have a wired connection. We use Starlink for our internet, and while it's fairly reliable, the winter is the worst season for it. It can get spotty, we can get drop service. So I would hope that the board can find some resolution where, the residents of Griffin's Island and the other side of Jaquesta Neck Road can get wired up as expeditiously as possible. Thank you.
Let me just ask, is the proposal that Jay mentioned, just simply coordinating with the contractor to, before they actually run the line, would that?
Speaking just for myself, that sounds reasonable to me. I would just encourage everyone involved that the sooner we can get wired up, the sooner I can have a reliable internet connection. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else in the room? I do not see anybody online. Rebecca, am I missing anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think you're all set, John.
Okay, in that case, I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
And John, aye.
Okay, I move to approve the Comcast's request to use the town-owned 4-inch conduit that travels along the Jaquesta Neck Road Bridge, subject to the satisfaction of Wellfleet DPW Director Jay Norton in mid-construction.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
And John, aye. Passes 3-0 with 2 recusals.
You'll make a lot of people happy, I'm sure, over there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Okay.
it. Have a good night.
Yes, you too.
Okay. Next, I'll open the public hearing on the Wicked Oyster, doing business as Wicked Provision. Mr. Alexander Hay, to approve year-round off-premises wine and malt alcohol license to Wicked Provisions. Hey,
Yeah,
Greg,
come
come
on
on up.
Good evening.
Evening.
So pretty straightforward here. We currently have at Wicked Provisions a seasonal all alcohol license. There are no, we would like to, we've always liked to or hope to stay open year round in that provision shop to kind of complement the Wicked Oyster that's going to be open year round this winter as well. There are no more all alcohol year-round licenses available, so the next step down would be a all year-round beer and wine license to complement the all liquor seasonal license.
Okay.
It's a little confusing for me sometimes, but I
get
think
it.
you all get the drift.
Right.
Happy to answer any questions if there's.
Does anyone on the board have any questions?
No, he answered my question. That was gonna ask,
Does
so.
anyone in the room have any questions? Seeing none. I don't see anybody online. So in that case, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing for Wicked Provisions.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Barbara, aye.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye.
I move to approve year-round off-premises wine and malt alcohol license for Wicked Oyster. Does business as Wicked Provisions located at 40 Main Street, Wellfleet, Mass.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Barbara, aye.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye.
And I believe that's the last license that's available.
No.
right? No, there is another.
On our seasonal licenses, because the population spikes as much as it
Okay,
does.
so there are
we
seasonal.
have a lot more leeway with the seasonals than we
Okay.
do.
But
with
for
the
a
beer
year-round.
and wine than we do with the all-alcoholic licenses.
Okay.
And just want to thank Mr. Hay and his business colleagues for staying open year-round. It's
Yeah.
tremendously
Much
appreciated.
We're
appreciated.
going to try again this year, so
Yeah, hopefully it will be good.
hopefully we'll be able to open in the summer, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to board and committee appointments and updates. And first is the dredging task force. Timothy Sayer has applied to become a voting member of the dredging task force. Currently, the dredging task force stands at 3 members. There are 2 openings. Tim, do you want to come up? If you'd like to speak to this, and then we'll take questions from the board and then from the public.
Good evening. Thank you. And through the chair, I was very involved in the other dredging project that didn't happen, the 28 acres that they were trying to use for mitigation. I did speak against that. I did not speak against spending money to do dredging. I'm in favor of dredging, but we need to look out for what's best for this town and what's best for the taxpayers as far as dredging goes. I feel that I can work with people that are on the board, and I can work with the select board if need be. And I'm always open to listening to what everybody has to say, what the input is, and while we may not always agree on everything, we can always agree to discuss the issue and come to a resolution of any issues.
Okay, would anyone on the board like to ask Tim any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So Tim, don't take this personally, but I participated in and attended a lot of those meetings, and I did feel that sometimes the opposition was more about what-ifs as opposed to the real facts on the ground. And I have no problem with you being on this board, but I would like it to be really working with what is possible and not about what the sort of perceived conflicts or obstacles that I felt were being put in the way as opposed to being in the way.
I understand what you're saying, and like I said, I think that we can overcome any of the obstacles that are in the way. I think that we need to have candid and frank discussions on how we can accomplish this by least impacting the town and least impacting the taxpayers, but also making sure that we maintain sovereignty over the property that we own in this town.
Barbara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair, and this may be a question also for Mr. Guarino. Is the dredging task force involved in maintenance dredging planning, or is that more of a admin function?
No, that would be the
I can-
task force would be involved with
We're
that
involved
as
in
well.
maintenance dredging? Okay, thank you.
You know, this, just to clarify, the maintenance dredging is not something that's going to call a mitigation plan into play.
No, through the chair, I understand. I
Okay.
just, apart from mitigation dredging, just for my own reminder or education, I just wondered if dredging task force, because before it was fairly preoccupied with mitigation, I just wondered if part of the scope of its charge included maintenance dredging as well.
It does.
And boy, do I remember those as well. So
Okay. Anyone else on the board? Does anyone in the room have any questions for Tim?
Chris Merrill, speaking for myself. I serve on the dredging task force and also on the shellfish advisory, which Tim serves on with me. And since he's gotten on and I've been paying attention to Tim in the last few years, he seems to really do his due diligence on finding out his facts. And he also took over the secretary position on the Shellfish Advisory, which has been very helpful, and I think he'd be a great asset to it. I understand some of the concerns about the what-ifs and, different things like that, and I think we need to move past that, and I think that Tim is able to do that. Because we need to actually get it done, not, pretend to. So we need the help, and so I would suggest that you please appoint him. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Anyone else in the room? In that case, I have one hand raised online. Kathleen Bacon?
Good evening, Board. For the public record, Kathleen Bacon. Tim, my comments are not for the intention of hurting you personally, but I do have to speak up against your appointment request to the dredging task force. In 2023, when we were working on a draft mitigation plan that the Corps of Army Engineers would find acceptable, in meeting after meeting, no one spoke more vehemently against such an arrangement than you. The Corps, in your opinion, was the equivalent of Darth Vader. In your words, once we let them into Wellfleet, we will never get rid of them. You could not see the positive benefit of working collaboratively with either the state or federal officials. What astounds me now is that the dredging task force is yet again going to look at a mitigation plan that will help the town deflect the cost of the permitting fee. We are right back to where we started 5 years ago, and you want to be a member of the dredging task force. I do appreciate your participation on the Shellfish Advisory Board and the Maurice's Campground Committee, but in all honesty, I do not believe you to be a good candidate for the dredging task force. Thank you, Board.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen.
I have a question.
If you'd like to.
Yes, go ahead.
And Mr. Chair, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to that as well.
Yeah.
But just to frame a question, I suppose that I have. Is there a scenario where that you could support that would involve a mitigation plan that involved Army Corps of Engineers oversight on Wellfleet title lands?
First, let me speak to the fact that I did speak against the Army Corps of Engineers. I will not deny that. What I spoke against was them having sovereignty over our 28 acres. I know that they have to be involved in dredging. That's where we go through to get permits with different people. They have to be for that kind of stuff. I was against the plan because we had multiple oyster shellfishermen come up here and say the plan would not work the way they had set the parameters out, and that they were way above the parameters that were set for other places. So I was against that, and I spoke against that. I said we didn't want the Army Corps of Engineers involved in that, okay? I know that we have to work with them through the dredging. If the only way we can do the dredging is to do some kind of mitigation, I'm open to listening to all options. I know there's some options out there that I'm not going to speak about that I've been informed of that will help this town with its requirement, hopefully, to meet what we need to do for mitigation. And I feel that I can be open-minded to all of that. As to some of the other comments, I'm not going to even entertain the Darth Vader comment, okay? And I appreciate your vote to be on this committee. I also would like to ask you to change it from 3 years to 1 year, because if we cannot accomplish what we need to accomplish right away and get everything moving, and 1 year from now we haven't accomplished anything, then I haven't done my job on this board. So I'm asking it be moved from 3 years to 1 year, because there are 1 year positions on that board available.
I don't know. Okay.
I looked it up. But I also asked for the same thing on the SAB, and there was no problem with that.
There's no, if the board chooses to do that, it can.
Okay, well, we can make that part of the motion if we want. Yeah, I would. I don't want to take up time rehashing what happened in the past. Tim, would it be fair to say that you recognize the fact that any time a project is undertaken that involves the navigable waters of the U.S. or anything connected with them, that it is inevitable that the Army Corps of Engineers is going to be the permitting factor and has to be?
I understand that.
Okay.
We were talking about, I was talking about the mitigation with the 28 acres when I spoke about them, not about the fact that we need to deal with them to do dredging or, different, all different phases of dredging and stuff. So I have no problem with that.
I would state that as anyone who attended those hearings would remember, after having favored the mitigation plan for some time, once I felt the facts were in, I opposed it too, and I urged the board to vote it down. Tim was not alone in that, and my reasons for having done so, I stood by then and I stand by now. That said, we have a potential for a workable mitigation plan going forward, which, should it take place as I'm seeing it take shape, I would fully support, and I think anybody, any reasonable person would. We have to play ball with the Corps of Engineers. We all know that. We need to get this job done. So that's all I have on the subject. If there's any further questions, otherwise I'll be happy to take a motion.
I would very much caution expected timelines involving the Army Corps. We've all seen how that plays out, and we have to do it right. We don't even know what the federal government's going to look like, a month or two from now. I mean, if you call the Army Corps, unless it's an emergency, you're not going to be able to talk to anybody, and they're not reviewing anything. So I just really want to caution an expectation that everything will be lined up within a year.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expects that to happen. The permitting process alone takes longer than that. Tim?
I'm sorry, through the chair. What I was saying was to only allow me to be on there for 1 year. Then I'd have to come back before the select board to extend for another year, 2 years, whatever. I'm not expecting everything to be finished in a year. I've dealt with many government projects before, and I know how molasses runs uphill in the winter, okay? And so I'm just asking, the reason I asked was it gives a year, then I can come back in and you can review and say, okay, this is where we're at. We're not happy with what you're doing, or we are happy with what you're doing, or the board's not happy with what I'm doing, and they can come in and say, listen, he was the right choice or he was the wrong choice, and I'm not on there for 3 years while they're wringing their hands, hoping I hadn't been appointed in 3 years. I don't think that will happen, but I did the same thing with the SAB, and I'm back up January 31st to be put back on the SAB, so that, I feel it's the best way to do it in this case.
Barbara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate Tim's willingness to serve on multiple boards. It's a lot of work, and, a bit of viewpoint diversity to me is a good thing. So I appreciate your applying and willingness to serve on this board as well as the others. Thank you.
Josh?
I think Mr. Sayre's offer of a single-year term shows a lot of humility. I really appreciate it, and it's something I'd absolutely support. I think no one thinks that you don't have the best interests of this town at heart. You clearly stepped up to the plate a number of times for this town. I think you've heard some concerns from other people in the community, and I think you'll take them to heart. But I'd be happy to support 1-year term.
Well, I'm good with that, and I'll further point out that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this item, this is a 5-member board, and we only have 3 members on it. We really need people on the board who are willing to serve. And with that, I guess I'll take a motion, unless somebody has any further questions.
No.
Go ahead.
No, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint Timothy Sayre as a voting member of the Wellfleet Dredging Task Force for a term of 1 year to expire June 30th, 2026, I guess? No.
A year, so it would be
October.
Yeah, sorry, October.
September 30th, 2026?
September.
So just for staff, it works a lot easier if they, unless there's a reason behind the appointment that requires it to be, exactly a year, if they all expire on the same date, because that's when they review everybody, and then we do our annual reappointment. So all of our other boards and committees where there's a appointment, they end on June 30th, unless there's a reason why not, so, yeah.
Okay, although, sometimes if we have openings, we want to move to appoint somebody right away rather than wait, so, Mr. Chairman, I see Mr. Sayre has a question.
Yeah.
Through the chair, I have no problem if you want to amend it to June 30th, 2027, which will be a little over a year and a half, okay? And I don't have a problem with that. I just made the year suggestion, but I understand Mr. Curley's concern, so if you want to make it June 30th of 2027, I'm fine with that also.
Okay, through the chair, I think that's a good way to do this. So I'll just repeat this. I move to appoint Timothy Sayre as a voting member of the Wellfleet Dredging Task Force for a term to expire June 30th, 2027, to be sworn in by the town clerk before voting at an upcoming meeting.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Mr. Sayre.
Thank you, Tim.
And through the chair, this
Okay, yeah, and I get your
sworn-in
email
part
now, too.
is really important, because I read an article about it, I forget which town it was, people were not sworn in, and they've been voting, and it's now put a whole number of decisions into question.
Ooh.
So every time Ryan is pointed out to be sworn in, I thank him, because we really do need to do that.
Yep. Well, it's right there.
Okay.
Mr. Schwartz.
Moving on, board and committee appointments and updates. Item B, Louis Schwartz to be appointed as a voting member to the Council on Aging Advisory Board for a term of 3 years.
I think he's
Mr.
online.
Schwartz is online, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, okay, if you can unmute.
I did.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Schwartz.
Hello, all.
Greetings. And thank you for offering to step up.
I hope to do so.
What, if I could,
Oh, go ahead.
what is your interest in, and how did you come and decide to apply for this position?
Well, actually, I am probably not as familiar as I should be with the workings of the COA, but as a senior myself, I would like to see an initiative to do more than look after our health, entertain us, and make sure we're exercised. It seems to me that the COA should be working for seniors to have actual productive input into the town as a whole. Not that I know specifically what that means, but it's important for seniors to be productive and not simply passively retired, as I think many of us unfortunately are. So I'd be interested to see what I could do in that respect.
You know, there's an expression called not retiring, but repurposing, so I think
Yes,
that's
that
what you're
would
seeking
be-
to do.
To find that purpose, absolutely. Or purpose says.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
About a month ago, I was able to spend a significant amount of time with Mr. Schwartz. He's very pleasant and very engaging to talk to.
Yes, and I think he has a background that might be beneficial in many ways. So, in looking at not only that he's but he does art history, photography. I think there's some ideas he could throw out there that would be interesting to people. So, are there any further?
I don't have any.
And I don't.
I'm gratified that he's willing to step up, and he seems to have the outlook and the credentials to make a good contribution.
So, Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Louis Schwartz as a voting member to the Wellfleet Council on Aging Advisory Board for a term of 3 years to expire on June 30th, 2028, and to be sworn in by the town clerk before voting on any upcoming meeting.
Second.
Roll call vote,
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
and John, aye. Welcome, Mr. Schwartz, and thank you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Schwartz. Thank you.
And thank you all.
This one. No, I'm talking to myself, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll do it.
Okay, last item of board and committee appointments and updates, item C, Dr. Edward Nardell, MD, to be appointed as a voting member to the Cultural Council. Is he on with us?
He's actually teaching a class on French, but he was going to try and get here. His class goes until 7. So he was sought out by the Cultural Council, and they are a huge fan of him and really would like him to be appointed. He's just probably still in class. That's why he's not on here.
Okay, well, I think we can take their word for it.
Yeah, it sounds like a kindred soul for you, John.
And just, John, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
This one is one that it has to be pretty much exactly a year. So just for that, but there's a note on his application that he attached 2 programs to his application, but it's not in our packet. So Rebecca, if you have a chance, could you send those to us? And if you, they might be interesting.
Yeah, sure. What did he say he asked? Because he only sent me his application.
Okay.
Oh, no, you know what? He sent me flyers of the music programs that he does. I'll send them to you.
Yep. That would be awesome.
Sure, I'll do it. I'll do it tonight. Give me 10 minutes.
Mr. Chair, through you to Mr. Cook, you just said this has to be 1 year. Did you mean 3 years?
1 year.
I'm just reviewing the motion in the
Oh,
packet.
is it 3 years? Rebecca, the Cultural Council? Do you remember? You can't serve.
Yeah, this is 3 years, but it has to be to the exact date.
Yeah.
So what happens is, like, there's a couple that they only have a year left. Once they get appointed, they're staggered. That's why it's the exact date. So it's 3 years from today. So it's October 7th, 2028, I think is 3 years from today.
Okay.
They're the ones that are sticklers with that date because it's the state.
Okay.
I move to appoint Edward Nardell to the Wellfleet Cultural Council for a term of 3 years expiring October 7th, 2028, to be sworn in by the town clerk before voting on any meeting.
Second.
Roll call vote,
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
and John, aye. Passes 5-0. And, all
I will let him know. Thank you.
right, thank you. Now on to business item A, Jay Coburn, Community Development Partnership, to have the Select Board sign the easement for 95 Lawrence Hill project.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
This is a 3-party easement that allows for the power company, the town, and POA to work so they can come in, put meters in as they need to do work from time to time. This has been reviewed by KP through council and has come back approved.
So do we sign this now, here?
Yes, please.
Through the chair, though,
We need to vote on it first.
well, plus it looks like it needs to be notarized.
Yeah.
Signatures need to be notarized.
All right, so what we can
So
do
we
is
can
have you
vote.
come in tomorrow.
We don't have Rebecca here.
Right, so I'm just saying we
She's a
can't,
notary public.
Yeah,
but we can vote, but we can't sign it tonight.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and we didn't know at the posting of
Right.
the meeting that
Got it.
Rebecca was not able to be here tonight, so.
Oh, okay. In that case, I guess I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the Select Board sign the easement for 95 Lawrence Hill project tomorrow and return the signed notarized document to Jay Coburn.
Yes.
Second.
Roll call vote,
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
and John, aye. Motion passes 5-0.
I would recommend putting it in your calendar for everybody. So, I'm doing that right now. I don't want to forget.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to put that as a...
This also
Okay.
sounds like I'm signing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm recused from the next item, which is Herring River related.
Okay, wait a sec. So put this...
This was as a result of the town meeting back in '22, where the town approved the selectmen to work on the town's behalf and do things in the best interest of the town. This is the easement, order of taking, excuse me, that is in the permanent easement that has been drafted and approved by council for your view and signature.
Did we sign here tonight, or do we need to come in?
You'll need to come in also.
Oh, okay.
That also needs a notary.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes.
So the last time we did an easement, I'm going to say the same thing I did then. I really think we should start taking it as fee simple rather than doing easements, because it gives us more flexibility in the future. The park is a good example, or where we basically, have to offset or come up with some way to make it all whole, but like, it's just for easement, we don't actually own it, but if we have a fee simple, we can use that in the future if we have to do a land exchange or things of that nature. And I really just think we should be taking, I mean, the effects largely are the same, except for legal, that we should be taking things as fee simple.
Okay. That's the first I've heard, but that's a good idea, Ryan.
What is the difference between an easement and an order of taking?
Well, an order taking can be for an easement, but I'm saying fee simple, which is where the town actually ends up owning the land underneath, whereas an easement, the town doesn't own it. But largely, the financial impacts is pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it really limits your future flexibility in that nature.
Mr. Chair, in consort with Mr. Curley, it may make some sense to have council break this down, into the details. Ryan's done a good job with it, but if we have council in some night, maybe they can give you the pros and cons and a written.
Not to hold this up, Mr. Chair,
Right.
for you. My issue with this item is that we have Exhibit A. It just says the word plan and then it's blank.
I tried to get that.
I think it would be appropriate to have
Yeah, the
the
plan.
exhibit
Yeah, that was, okay.
before us, before we agree to sign it.
That was, yes.
So maybe we can, I believe we could afford 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we can.
So we can,
And that was, if you go back to the original town meeting article, the plan would have been submitted with that. I can just pull that.
sure. I just,
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
it's appropriate if, we're taking action, that we have a full set of documents before us.
Okay, and there's not a time issue here?
Okay,
So
so,
we can go 2 weeks. It'll be all right.
Okay. All right.
so we'll move to continue
we
this?
don't
We don't have to do anything? Okay.
No, we'll just wait till this comes up and...
But I'm not saying fee simple for this one, because
Right.
that will significantly delay things. I'm just saying in the future.
In the future, right. That's the way I understood your comment, Ryan. Thank you.
Just to provide the clarity in case.
No, it's my objection is pushing this 2 weeks, but I think it's appropriate that we actually see the plan.
Okay. In that case, we'll move on to item C, to discuss and schedule a working goal session meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I see that the dates being considered are October 14th and October 16th, and I did announce today that the 16th, and I think that is going to be the day, because it's a Thursday, that the forum is zeroing in on to have the pre-town meeting, which would start at 7. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I can't do either of these dates.
You can't do Monday?
No. Well, the Monday's the Columbus Day.
Well, the 14th is a Tuesday.
14th is a Tuesday.
Yeah, but how about the?
You already have another meeting, but we were talking about maybe the Monday, October 20th.
So do we have a meeting on next week on the sorry, I think I read this as the 15th. So the 14th, that's a Tuesday?
We have a
Yes, and you have an
3:30.
executive session at 3:30, and then you have a regular meeting at 4:30, all virtual.
We have
Wait, we have an executive session on the 14th of October?
We do?
Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, it's at 3:30.
I'm sorry.
It has to deal with the regionalization.
This is why I said that we have to stop dropping these meetings last minute. This has been going on for basically 2 months, where half of our meetings, we've been informed about them less than a week ahead of time. That's not the way that this board or board members should be treated. And I just want to make that very clear right now. If we need to schedule a meeting, we need to schedule a meeting. But it has to be done in a way that affords us an opportunity. We can't just have these things continuously dropped on us with basically very little input, or only one day with slightly different hours. We all have lives, so.
Through the chair,
Yes.
I would just ask if either of the things that are scheduled for the 14th are time sensitive, and if not, whether we have a meeting on the 21st. I have house guests that, Monday and Tuesday, so it's not ideal. But I'm just wondering, can we move stuff to the 21st? Assuming that others can make it
Everything can
work.
be moved through the chair. Everything can be moved. The intent on the 14th
Yeah.
was primarily to get the attorney in on the regional system that we put off twice, and she had a connectivity problem once.
Okay.
But we can do it all on the 21st. That's all good. The intent was not to run 10 or 11 o'clock meetings. The intent was to get rid of some business that's been lingering. And I appreciate, Ryan, you're right. You need more time to
Goals
plan.
we should have set right after the election. That's a normal cycle. We're months late in setting goals.
Just so through the chair, I guess, maybe our focus can be on, does the 21st work for everybody?
For the executive session?
Well, just to roll more of this, if the 14th is kind of too short notice. It's just a suggestion.
But we have a meeting scheduled that night, so.
For the 14th?
For
We
the
have a
21st.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
For the night, but,
So on the 14th, we have an executive session at 3:30, and then we have a sewer commissioners meeting at 4:30.
Okay.
Is that accurate?
That's the intent, yes.
Okay.
okay. I mean,
So we're,
I can make them. I'm just suggesting in case it was a
so we're
problem.
doing executive session. I'm putting this in the calendar now because
Yeah, what I saw was the executive session. I didn't see anything about a sewer commission meeting afterwards.
So I just through the chair, I can make those, but just as a suggestion, as an alternative, if everyone can make work the following.
We can all do it the 21st. We were just trying to spread you out a little bit, that's all.
I have another question. Putting the forum aside to the second, can this board all make time on the 16th? We need to
during
set
the day?
we need to set goals. We got to stop punting this meeting out.
If it's during the day, I can. If it's at night, I can't. I have a hard stop at like 3:30.
I'd be open to a morning meeting. I don't know what everyone else's work schedules look like, but we need to have this meeting.
I have somebody, let me just check something
So
here.
I have an 11 o'clock meeting and a 2 o'clock meeting on the 16th. So I can do morning or between 12 and 2.
Okay,
How
on
does
this,
12 to 2 work? I know morning is not your favorite time, so I'm talking to you, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Chair.
on Thursday, the,
The 16th.
okay, yeah, that's not a problem for me, but what, I have somebody wanting to book a charter sometime between the 16th and the 18th. Right now, I'm looking at the weather on the 16th, and it's not looking good, which means the meeting will
Yeah,
be
so
fine.
hopefully it won't be, you won't have a problem.
But I have to work around the weather.
23rd, I've got to be in Holyoke for
That's not going to work.
municipal law seminar.
Oh.
I'll have to check my calendar in the morning.
So how does 12 to 2 work on the 16th for everyone? I mean, it works for me. We
Tom
could go
just said he's
12:30
in-
to 2.
Yeah, Tom
Okay,
can't
great.
make it.
Let me check my calendar to see if I'm in Holyoke or not.
Okay, because we don't have to set this tonight. You can put this out for us and we'll,
And people should come with their goals or
Yeah,
an
try
idea
to make it-
written.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
The 16th you have free, the 23rd you are in Holyoke.
Okay, the 16th is good then.
okay.
Thank you, Rebecca.
So 9 to 11 or 12 to 2.
12 to 2, John?
Is that going to be in person or virtual?
I could do either, I don't care.
If I'm between work meetings, so virtual is better for me.
Now, what day is this?
Thursday, the 16th, 12 to 2.
I hope I'm not screwing myself by committing myself to that, out of a job.
Well,
Right now, it doesn't look like I am, but the weather is so changeable.
get it. I guess that's, again, if it's better, if everyone could, I'm just suggesting as an alternative, roll everything into whatever that Tuesday was.
Tom, you said you can make
I
it?
can make it, yeah.
The 21st. I understand and I agree of the importance of goal setting and all of
Okay,
that.
I think I can do it. If they're willing, maybe I can get them to do a sunset that day, if that's the day they choose to go out.
What time do you usually go out? I mean, it depends
Oh,
on
it
the
depends
tide, I'm
on,
sure,
well,
right?
not so much. It depends more on them, tied to some extent.
I just don't like to put you in that position,
Yeah, I
John.
mean, we could
really
do
don't,
the
so-
morning, or if
Actually,
that's,
since I got this, I can find out right away what the tide picture is. On the 16th, I'd be looking at low tide at 2:30. So I'd probably want to do a sunset anyway. So, yeah, I'll be good for the 16th.
okay. 16th, 12 to 2.
Yep. If that's the day they want to go out, I'll just tell them it's going to have to be a sunset.
Right. Maybe they'll do the next day. Okay,
So we're not, the executive session on the 14th, is that,
Going to be canceled.
okay.
it's going to be canceled?
Wait,
Oh, wait a minute.
No.
The 14th is going to, the executive session, the 14th meeting will happen and we're meeting the 16th.
Okay.
wait, hang on, I'm still putting.
And the 14th is
last-
at 3:30.
Wait, can we
Right.
hang on a sec? I'm just putting the 12 to 2 in my calendar, and I'm losing the thread here. Hang on.
While Member Carboni's doing that, if I might ask Member Lyons, when they schedule a sewer commission meeting, to email the board to notify them, please. I don't know when it was added to the agenda, but I wasn't aware of it.
I'm sorry?
Neither.
Okay.
Well, when you call a sewer commission meeting, when you put it on
Oh,
the schedule,
oh,
would you mind
absolutely.
just letting us know? Because I wasn't aware that we were having one on the 14th, and so.
I wasn't, we were having one. What time is that at?
30.
4:30.
Yeah, that's it.
4:30.
Okay.
Starting at,
I didn't have it on my calendar either. I didn't know that that was put into.
well, that was during our discussion with the tie and bond people.
Okay, all right. I apologize.
Do people have any, do we have a meeting other than the sewer commissioners? We have right now, 3:30 regionalization, 4:30 sewer commissioners.
Right, that's it.
That's
right.
it?
On the 14th.
For that day.
I mean, the 3:30 is not great, but if that's the day council can make it and everybody.
Council can work around. My thought on that is.
These dates really need to get run by the board members so that, we're not full-time employees of the town of Wellfleet. People have scheduling conflicts, and the way to deal with it is you have to check with the board members and make sure the time works and not just schedule a meeting.
Through the chair, is there any chance the regionalization could be moved to after sewer commissioners? And would my colleagues consider that?
And which day are we talking about?
So we're now on the 14th, where right now, 3:30 regionalization, that's virtual. 4:30 sewer commissioners, I assume, is in person.
That's virtual.
Oh, it's virtual. So my proposal is to move that 3:30 regionalization, if council's available, to after sewer commissioners, just so it doesn't break up the day like that. But if everyone can make that, I will make it work.
Okay, I'm not involved in the sewer commission meeting, right?
We're part of
The board is the sewer commission.
Yeah, okay. So that's at 4:30 on the 14th?
Yes.
Currently. But Barbara's suggesting we move everything back.
Well, I guess my suggestion is if we move the 3:30 to, whenever we're done with sewer commissioners, so if we scheduled, I don't know what's on the agenda for sewer commissioners, but assuming it's not too long, if sewer commissioners could be, 5:30 or 6, rather than at 3:30, that would be helpful to me.
Do it at 6. That's
If
fine.
it's acceptable to my colleagues.
Okay, so we're still doing executive session at 3:30.
No, that's what I'm asking.
4:30.
That's,
Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
so right now, it's 3:30 executive session regionalization, 4:30 sewer commissioners, and my proposal is to move the 3:30 to 6 PM, so that the first meeting we have on that Tuesday is sewer commissioners at 4:30, and then the executive session on regionalization at 6 PM instead.
Okay, so we're 2 meetings, right?
Yes, 2 different meetings.
I can accommodate that.
I can do it.
So 4:30 for the sewer commission and 6
Yeah.
o'clock?
Do you think we'll need an hour and a half for the sewer commissioners?
Hopefully,
Probably.
we'll see. Yeah, we have a lot to learn and a lot to,
You're going to have your
Get in
consultants in,
place.
giving you timelines,
Okay.
talking about stuff. I hope to have the build-out analysis
Okay.
off to you by then as well.
Okay,
I'm waiting on an executive summary for that.
okay, I appreciate my colleagues' flexibility on
Yeah,
that later in
through
the
the
day.
chair,
Yeah.
Ryan is correct. I don't want to, no disagreement. We've been just trying to push stuff out, and we've tried to have goal meetings 4 or 5 times, and we couldn't get a quorum, so we just tried to have other meetings. So you're right, we should schedule better. We were just trying to load up a lot of stuff and to get it off the plate so we could move forward. But we will be more attentive to that moving forward.
Okay, so sewer commission's at 4:30 on the 14th.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
and then the regional,
We have an executive session at 6 PM on the 14th. Then we have goal setting on the 16th from 12 to 2.
okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so that's, we're going to add 6 PM executive session, meeting, select board. Executive.
I'm sorry, on the 16th, we said 2:30? 12:30, I'm sorry,
No, 12.
12 o'clock.
Okay, so
Oh, that's right, 12 to 2, all right.
select board executive session, and that's the regionalization
On
meeting?
the 16th,
Is going to be the goal setting.
right, and then the
Well, I'm still
14th.
on the 14th,
Right,
I'm
the
sorry.
14th, the regionalization is at 6.
and that's an executive session meeting.
Correct.
And these are both virtual?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, both of those meetings are virtual, okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we're on to it takes me longer than you to
No,
manipulate this
I
stuff.
just got mine.
Okay, so why isn't this going? Here we go. So the 16th is going to be the goals meeting?
Yes.
Yep, 12 to 2.
12 to 2.
Bring your goals.
Yep. Okay. And that's going to be where?
Virtual.
Okay.
And just a question for the board. This was my first goal-setting session for the select board. Is it appropriate to send beforehand?
Don't.
You can't. That's deliberation?
Yeah,
Send
send it to Rebecca,
Rebecca.
and she can put it in a packet and distribute it, but if we start sending around our goals, it's potential the meeting will issue.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I appreciate it, but, it's still, okay. So if
With the holiday being Monday through the chair, if you could get those on Friday, it would be helpful.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make that,
Or Tuesday morning
so.
by 10 o'clock, so we can get it with the packet and posted.
And if not, bring them.
Yeah.
So this meeting's going to be at
Virtual,
at noon?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think it'll be 2 hours, 3 hours?
2.
2, okay. All right.
I just thought of a goal.
Yeah, I know, there's a lot of talk.
Okay, I think I've got it all covered.
necessity is
Sorry
the
about that.
innovation.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. So are we done?
We're done.
with
I
this?
think it's.
Okay, now we're on to select board reports. Josh?
Oh, yes.
I have one short and one medium length. Short report is that Mr. Conroy and I from the Finance Committee had our first task force meeting regarding Section 7 of the Charter. It was a productive conversation. We're having another conversation next week, and just more to come. So just want to let you all know that we're having productive conversations. With that, I can allow others to give reports before doing correspondence, or I can give correspondence.
I have a report, but
Yep.
whatever the chair would like.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I attended, as a member of the steering committee, a meeting of this efficiency and regionalization project that was held in Brewster Town Hall. There were members from the 4 different towns, and it was run by the consultants who had us participate in one of those exercises where you break up into groups and, brainstorm ideas. And the subject was what makes a thriving school. So we discussed among ourselves what makes a thriving school, and then had back to the full group discussion of that. And the thing I want to emphasize is that one of the goals that was identified by our group, really all groups, and according to the consultants, identified by the principals, is a community school. So that has already been identified as what makes a thriving school. So as this process moves forward, I just want to emphasize we have an opportunity to really solidify our input, whatever that is, on this and other goals. And I'll just keep announcing the November 3rd workshop that will take place, outreach meeting here in Wellfleet. There are others in the other towns, but this is a project funded by a grant that we participated in, so I hope that we will make the most of our opportunity to have input into what things are going to look like with the elementary schools going forward.
Could I ask a quick, so when you
Please.
say a community school, are you saying like a regional school with several communities?
No,
or-
community school meaning a school of the community.
Yeah, what makes it a community school? What are the elements of?
So the question is, what makes a thriving school? And one answer is that it is a community school that is in, I'll say, a town. That is one thing of a number of things that were identified. One is, and I hope that stays on the table, a school that's based in the community.
I get it.
So, I mean, this is my emphasis,
Right.
not the group, necessarily the group's emphasis, but this is the emphasis that I am making.
I just want to make it clear for
No,
those that are
thank you.
listening.
That's a very good point, because the word community is thrown around quite a bit, and sometimes it's really not clear what we're talking about, and I'm talking about a school in the town.
In a particular community, and, okay, I get
Yes.
it.
No, thank you, Sheila, that's a very good point.
I have a couple. One is John Bugby had prepared a letter of support for the Municipal Empowerment Act. I have a couple of concerns around specific portions of the act. And I think if it's representing the input of the town of Wellfleet, we should at least have a quick discussion on that before it's sent. I don't know.
Yeah, I have concerns as well, particularly around procurement, so I hope that's a discussion that we can have.
Yeah. So it eliminates the requirement to post any procurement regardless of cost to combis, and it raises the threshold from 50,000 to 100,000, which is a real issue. There's a couple of other things that just me personally, I'm a little concerned about, because they tend to be highly regressive in who they impact. One is a potential increase in the vehicle excise tax of an additional 5%. Typically that particular tax is really regressive because, just from the values of vehicles. And then there's other sections, but overall, I mean, there's a number of sections that I'm supportive of. It includes an increase in rooms tax and a small increase in meals tax as well. But, I think we should discuss it before we send a letter. If we want to make individual points on specific sections, we should. I also think, I don't know if we can do it right now, is just to vote to release the town council opinion on property tax minimums. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
So there's no detriment to the town if we release it.
I agree.
But through the chair, isn't it on the agenda for the executive
It is.
session?
It's not on this agenda, so we really,
You can release it, though.
so we'll do it during the
Yeah,
executive session.
and then I'll have some topics for future agendas, but after.
Any other select board reports?
I have correspondence, Chair.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
All right. This is the correspondence of September 17th to October 7th. We had various administrative correspondence from the executive assistant regarding scheduling and documents for various meetings. The town administrator shared a letter from the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities regarding ADUs in the National Seashore. Received a request from Lily Green for that letter. The town administrator shared a draft of the Wellfleet Charter Review Working Group Framework. We received a notice from the Cape Cod Regional Government Regional Luxury Tax Estate Transfer Fee Hearing. We received a presentation that was given to the Cape Cod Tech Council. Received a letter from a member of the public commenting on the minutes of September 2nd. We received a press release that the Cape Cod National Seashore is to host a morning of science talks. We received a press release from the Cape Cod Assembly that the Cape Cod Assembly is hearing support from state legislatures for the luxury real estate transfer fee. We received an application for the health agent, received an enforcement notice of noncompliance from Mass DEP regarding a private property, received an email from the Chamber of Commerce regarding the Harbor Masters T-shirt competition. We received notice from the New England Fisheries Management Council is seeking applicants for advisory panels. We received notification that the Wellfleet Road widening easement was recorded with the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. Chief LaRocco notified the board that they received a state grant to purchase car seats, I believe in the amount of $3,000 or so. We received notice from Representative Luddy's office that the home rule petition from Wellfleet has expired, and the legislature regarding an act authorizing the town of Wellfleet to establish a real estate transfer fee. We received notice of an appeal of the planning board decision on 538-548 Old Kings Highway. We received the final 2025 long-term management letter report for Camp Wellfleet, formerly used defense site FUDS MRS-04. A member of the public asked a question regarding carbon credits, the Herring River Restoration Project. A member of the public sent a letter opposing a utility pole. We were sent a physical letter from a member of the public addressing the police chief, expressing gratitude to the department. We were sent another physical letter from a member of the public addressed to the town administrator, expressing gratitude that they received a slip, addressed to the harbor master, expressing gratitude that they received a slip in the marina after being on the wait list for 34 years. We received a press release entitled Cape Cod Assembly Hears Input on Luxury Real Estate Transfer Fee, Differing Opinions on Local Control. We received comments on the draft Board of Health Regulation amendments. We received draft report of the town facility assessment. We received a ZBA decision on 25-11-260 Kendrick Avenue. Town council opinion regarding an item on a draft of the town meeting warrant. Fiscal year 2025 local option tax revenue from DOR was sent by the town administrator. We received a memo from the town administrator regarding parts of the fiscal year 27 budget. We received notice the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities has released draft regulations to implement the new seasonal communities designation that was created under the Affordable Homes Act, signed into law in August of '24. Received a memo from the town administrator regarding a joint Wellfleet Affordable Housing Trust and Select Board meeting. Mr. Curley notified the board that they'd be remote for that meeting. Multiple letters from members of the public requested the board release town council's opinion regarding minimum property tax requirements for beach stickers. Received a letter from the harbor master that's sharing recent emails they've received expressing gratitude and positive sentiment about the marina. Member Curley shared an article from the Boston Globe regarding community health care centers. Via the director of the Department of Public Works, we received notice from the United States Department of Agriculture that the Herring River Bridge construction project is authorized to continue during the government shutdown. Through the town administrator, we received notice from the Cape Cod National Seashore Superintendent of their status during the government shutdown. Through town administrator, we received notice from Senator Markey's office that they shared a shutdown resource website for constituents, and that's markey.senate.gov/shutdown. Received a draft letter from the town administrator regarding a bill being discussed in the state Senate that was just previously discussed by Member Curley. Received a thank you letter from the Wellfleet Affordable Housing Trust. We received a memo and spreadsheet from a seasonal resident outlining the impacts of the residential tax exemption. We received notice the Governor's Office of Climate Innovation and Resilience is holding a meeting in Wellfleet from 1:30 to 3:30 on Wednesday, October 15th at Preservation Hall. We received notice from the town administrator regarding staff availability. We received another letter from Chief LaRocco notifying the board they received a state grant from the Municipal Road Safety Program for $12,000 for additional traffic enforcement overtime. I'm almost done, folks. Received note from the TA regarding an ongoing search for a new Cape Light Compact Director. Also notice of an appearance of a conflict of interest from our owner's project representative of the Herring River Restoration Project regarding a recent bid received regarding low-lying road elevations, that component of the Herring River Restoration Project. Received a note from the town administrator regarding the town of Sandwich's opposition to a real estate transfer tax. Received notice of a hearing date for seasonal community bills. The hearing will take place on October 15th at 1 p.m. Received an inquiry into an insurance matter. Received a letter from a member of the public regarding sewers and septic systems. And through the TA, we received notification that Mass DOT's drone in a box program that will be situated, I believe, on top of the fire department, was selected to be funded. That's it.
May I
Thank
ask
you.
a question? All of these letters are posted online in the agenda?
No.
No,
minutes?
these are correspondences that are sent to BOS@wellfleet-ma.gov.
Okay.
And many people do request some of these items. How you do so is you email the town clerk. The town clerk then requests that item from me, and I send it to her. The town clerk then sends it to the person who requests it. And there's a form online to do
So
so.
that people know, because I'm sure some people would want to zero in on a few of those once you've said them, so.
100%, and that's why I do
Okay,
it.
good, thank you.
So through the chair, is that, so it's treated like a public records request essentially?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, and we'll move on to town administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the word of the day is everything's expensive. We've got 2 bids that we've put out. John's going to chime in a little while, too. One with the town hall public bathrooms, and one with the generator replacement at DPW, where there was a grant for $130,000, I believe, or thereabouts. The bathroom bids came in at $1,300 per square foot, up to $1,800 per square foot. We don't have that kind of money budgeted. So John Bugby, Jay Norton, and I met with the architect engineer that helped us with the specs, to put the specs out. The specs are very stark. There's nothing fancy going on here. But we're now going through the bid sections to see, we're going to rebid it. We're going to, we're done, to see if the town can do any sweat equity in these types of things, to see if we can bring some of the cost on, just the rip and tear perhaps, that type of stuff. But the unit pricing on some of this was very disconcerting. Similar issue with the generator, where I believe it was 130 and it came in 200 and some change. Mr. Norton is working to try to see if we can secure additional funding for that. The price of stuff is,
Going sky high.
yeah, salt, the price of salt's come in, that's $80 plus a ton this winter. So that's just a heads up that the bids that we're getting right now seem to be very substantial.
What's happening with the town hall bathrooms?
Well, they were on, the town voted to renovate those. We hired a architect to help us put the specs together, and 3 out of Blackstone Valley. We put the bids out, we bid it out through goods and services and under procurement. We got the bids back and they just were really, really, really high.
It's
a shame.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it's the 2 bathrooms that are accessible from the outside. And visitors to our town, that's how they experience the town of Wellfleet, and they're in really rough shape. So I appreciate
there
the
was
town
some
administrator
discussion
finding
about
a
making
solution.
1 bathroom instead of 2, and that's not going to work, not with the volume of traffic.
Not with the
that we got there,
lines,
so.
and there are lines in men's bathrooms
Yeah,
now.
so
Thanks to
it's
prostate.
just a heads up. The ice machine, John?
Oh, the ice machine. The Iceman cometh.
Yes, I am here. And can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And just to back up what Tom has said, and the prices have gone sky high, and we've been racking our brains trying to figure out, why. And I think, there are some external factors. The markets don't like uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty. there's supply chain issues, there's tariff issues, and then more locally, we're on the Outer Cape, there's prevailing wage. So there's a lot of that all coming together. And on top of that, when a lot of these projects are approved, they're approved 6 to 8 months ahead of time during town meeting time. And then by the time we get to time to actually put the project into motion, those costs have escalated exponentially. So a lot going on there. But we have a good team. We're working on it. The architect's got some good ideas. We're going to put our heads together. And like Select Board Member Yeston said, this is the face of the town in a lot of ways. This is a facility that gets used by visitors. Visitors expect modern facilities, and that's what we want to try to improve upon. So that's what we're going to shoot for, and we'll get there. It's just going to take a little creativity, that's all. Getting to the ice machine. So this, again, a project that plagued with stops and starts, as I know I said that, but that seems to be the theme. But we're getting there. So the next step in the process is to have the water line connected to the ice machine. Once that's done, the concrete goes down. Once the concrete goes down, my next step in the process will be to put out a spec that'll finish the entire project. So we have to have an architect do soup to nuts. What is it that's going to be needed within the spec, so that when that next round of work is done, the next step is to flip the switch and have ice be created, and we start using the machine. So that's going to be costly. We're going to work to try to get those prices down, but that's the idea. Those two next steps take place. We go out to bid for the next round, and that's the final round. Hopefully that's all makes sense. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but that's the update.
Thank you, John.
We also have received notice of retirement from Suzanne Grout Thomas.
Wow.
The end of the fiscal year.
July?
Yeah, June 30th. That's going to be a huge fill. She is just a fabulous person. She knows where all the bodies are buried.
She just took the words out of my mouth.
She's very good about giving me history on things, and a very competent and accomplished department head who has served this town extremely well for decades. That presents opportunities as well. I'm meeting with the fire chief, and others to work on succession planning on that.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Suzanne will, well, she's not moving, so that's a good thing.
No, I know where she is.
You know where she is, and you have her phone number, so.
But that's it for tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Right,
It's
okay.
just-
Okay, moving on to topics for future discussion. Ryan, you had something?
Yeah, I requested them previously as well. One is Eversource and the application of herbicide on town-owned property and the rights of way. I requested that first a month and a half ago or longer.
Yeah.
And then the other one is that we also, in addition to goals, we need to finish Tom's performance review. That's part of the normal process, and we just need to start getting these things done on time. So, you know, the performance review, that has to be another priority.
I just got the final one in, so.
All right. There was one other one. I don't know. I can't make sense of my scribble. So that's it for right now. I might remember later. Yeah.
Okay. No, I got, Josh?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is probably going to, echo background and goal setting, but we need to have our comprehensive plan updated. We are late to that party, and I believe Member Lyons
Yes.
authored the last official comprehensive plan. I know there was some fits and starts, I believe, in 2018, 2019 to get started again, and there's some notes on that, but then the process stopped. But we need to get back on that project.
If I can just say, Beth Piles did ask me to work on that with her, and we have said a couple of times, we're going to get together this week, and we haven't. So I will call her, I will reach out to her and say, it is time, and let's get this started, and how are we going to proceed and set up a structure to go forward.
Barbara?
Yeah, through the chair, Truro updated its local comprehensive plan fairly recently, and I was in charge of that, so
Yeah, well,
if there's
we'd have you
anything that
on
I
board.
can be helpful with, I'd be glad to.
And I did speak to Suzanne Thomas, because she was on the committee, the last committee. It's been long enough where a new committee needs to be reconstituted.
Exactly. Right.
So at
opportunities,
the next regular meeting, we can have an agenda item to call for, you can formally call for applicants.
I promise I'll call Beth, and we will get ourselves on that meeting and go from there.
Usually these plans, the consultants are hired to do them.
Yeah.
Turo's was what, 150,000?
We did it in 2 stages. That is the financing.
Yeah.
That's probably right.
That's about right.
So there would need
Sounds
to be
right.
funding
Yep.
for this.
There
It's-
ne- yes,
it's
there needs
not
to-
just,
Oh, sure, no,
Yeah.
Ryan's correct. If I hesitate, it's just trying to
no,
remember.
remember that, yeah.
Yeah, also I confuse it with the Walsh, consultant as well. But there are grants available from various agencies that could fund a consultant for the local comprehensive plan. I can look back and see what we used, but we had several different funding sources. It's just a question of timing of where they are in the funding cycle right now. One of them was a DLTA grant, one of them was from HLC, although in its previous incarnation, so planning.
Did Turo form the committee after the funding was secured or before?
It was before, it was actually formed pre-pandemic, and then it was sort of in hibernation, and I inherited it when I was hired, sort of coming out of COVID, so the committee already existed, but that's when I started finding money for it.
So were they meeting?
During COVID, or?
Before you found money?
Pre-COVID, yes, but then they really didn't get up and running until I started and could supervise the project, and we didn't really get going until we got the funding and the consultant.
I would just really caution about leaving committees unsupported. If the funding and the support is not there, some of the best people will get extremely frustrated. And so it has to be coordinated. And Wellfleet has a bad practice of doing things in a very uncoordinated fashion. It's not specific to you, Tom, it's just like the past.
Yeah.
And, and local comprehensive plan is really out of date, but it's a requirement. There's multiple components of it, but it all has to be done with a plan ahead of time. So.
Yep, no, I agree with Ryan. It needs to be supported with funding and a consultant. And I definitely agree, people can get frustrated without that support. I would just add that the Cape Cod Commission has a new kind of format for local comprehensive plans that makes it actually easier to satisfy. You're no longer required to take a really deep dive into other subject.
Recording in progress.
Into subject areas, but, Beth and Sheila will find that when you start looking into it.
We start looking into it. When I did this in 2008, it was guided by the Cape Cod Commission. They were basically our consultants, and they came in and guided the whole process. So I don't know if they are still doing that assistance.
That was not an option available to Truro as of, a couple of years ago, but certainly
Yeah,
they're
don't
very,
do
Yeah, they don't,
They provide,
because they're they are the reviewing and
it's a conflict of
they
interest.
approve it or certify it, so they can't really be,
Right, I think this was pushing us along, and, it was under one of those things, but it's something I did when I first came here. I got invited on that, and it did teach me a lot. So, it's actually a great exercise to go through and to think about things, but it's a lot.
right. And can I offer one just final comment?
Just be aware that it's not on the agenda to discuss.
That's a very good point.
This is kind of dragging on.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's okay. I'm just pointing it out.
Okay. Just get excited about planning.
Yeah.
I know, and we need to do it, but are there any other select board reports? All right.
This is topics.
I mean, topics,
No.
rather. In that case, I'll move on to mine, which I handed out to everybody, but I'll read it for the benefit of the public, whoever's still on there. In the course of a conversation with Michaela Murphy, Provincetown's Historic District Commission, and she's also on the Provincetown Harbor Committee, an idea surfaced which I believe has a good deal of merit: a periodic, and I put in parentheses quarterly question mark as one suggestion, meeting of all 4 Outer Cape Select Boards for the purpose of improving communications and tossing around ideas related to regionalization, sharing of services and resources, etc. Given the steady increase in especially unfunded mandates, the drying up of funding sources at both the federal and state levels, steadily increasing costs for personnel and materials, and other critical mass challenges we face, coupled with the uniqueness of the 4 Outer Cape towns, it seems to me that we should be exploring ways in which we, as a bloc, can engage with the county and state governments as a unified entity. By meeting and exchanging ideas, we can better determine when and how functioning as this entity makes sense and how to go about it. I've reached out to all 3 of the other select board chairs. I printed that I've so far had a phone conversation with Truro Select Board Chair Arison, who indicated that she believes the proposal has a good deal of merit and should be further discussed. I also have heard back, as it turns out, from Chair Jerry Saracel of Eastham, who says that I saw your email, et cetera, et cetera. I think that quarterly or at least semi-annual meetings are a good idea. We should think about it being all select board members, 20, and also an open meeting, or maybe 2 from each town. Just worth thinking about. Our next select board meeting is 10/20. Let me know what your board thought, and I'll bring it up at our meeting. And he gave me his phone number. So I still am waiting to hear back from Provincetown, but I look forward to getting some feedback. And so I've reached out. Once I hear back from the others, and if our board agrees, I will attend meetings of their select boards and present this if they think such a presentation would be of benefit. I will plan on putting an agenda item on a future meeting for us to discuss this as a board at a public meeting. So that's that. So now I guess we're at minutes.
So,
And my bad, I have not had a chance to go over it.
oh, okay. In the meantime, could I raise a point?
Yes.
So this is in the September 16th meeting minutes, and it is one of the Eversource/Verizon hearings that we had. So on page 3F, it says, this is Beach Street, Old Wharf to Bayview. It says this hearing has been canceled by Verizon. I'm not sure. So they can't, the applicant can't cancel a hearing. The applicant can request to withdraw their application, but only the board could I don't even think the board can cancel a hearing. The board had to open the hearing. So I guess it's just a question of what the right description of this would be, but I don't think we can say it was canceled by Verizon because they don't have the authority to do that.
It also didn't
Through the
have-
chair, I'm sorry, that was my miswording. They just called and said we've canceled the work, and I just had cancel and said it was canceled.
Okay.
Because Verizon notified me that they no longer needed to do the work, it was canceled. So that was my fault.
No, yeah, not a fault. I just want to make sure it's described accurately. So would it be correct to say they requested to withdraw their application?
It didn't happen in the meeting.
Oh,
It happened after.
so what did we do at the time?
We continued the hearing.
We opened the hearing, continued it. Okay, then that's what it.
The one that was canceled, what happened was, the ones that you guys moved to October 21st was no problem. That one is redlined, and I did that the day of the meeting, because that afternoon, right about an hour before your meeting, Verizon notified me that it was canceled and they didn't need to have the hearing. So that's why I put canceled, only because that was literally just having that conversation.
Okay, I get it, but based on what Ryan said, did we open the public hearing?
No, I remember
Did
that.
we?
I remember that conversation, that I think that had to do with the poll near Will Sullivan, and.
Right.
No, that was a different one.
And they
Okay.
basically
That was a different one.
said,
Okay.
that was a different one?
Okay, but I guess the question is just, did we open the public hearing on that
I
item?
think there we acknowledged one of them
Okay,
was
so then-
canceled.
But they can't cancel.
didn't-
We canceled.
We can't
we can't-
cancel, we can't cancel a
You
meeting.
continued the public hearing.
So then it should just
Just
say,
say to be.
it was opened and continued.
Or that an application was withdrawn.
No application was withdrawn, correct.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean to try for his patience, but we should have a record. And Rebecca, it's not a criticism, I just want it to be accurate on what we did. So if it's the.
Yep, I understand, I'll correct that.
Yeah, just, and the applicant requested to withdraw their application. That's all.
Mr. Chair, it's a very small amendment, and I believe Rebecca's already aware of this, but in the same meeting minutes, September 16th, there's a small typo. We need to add the letter A on public hearing D. It should say conduit beginning at the existing pole. Currently, it just says beginning T, the existing pole.
Okay.
Small grammatical.
Okay. Are there any amendments to the other meetings, the other minutes? I have none.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025 as printed, September 15th, 2025 as printed, and September 16th, 2025 as amended.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Barbara, aye.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. I see there's no agenda item for adjournment.
No, there is.
Oh, there is, okay. I must have missed it.
But you're not leaving yet.
No, I know.
Okay.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Barbara, aye.
Brian, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Can we take a couple of minutes? I just
Yeah,
need to
that'd be
run to
great.
the
Recording stopped.
boys' room and